today's lecture, we are going to see about market basket analysis. I am Mrs. P. Aruna Devi, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, V.V. Vaniyaperumal College for Women, Virudhunagar. To introduce about the topic market basket analysis, it is considered to be the data mining technique which is used to find the patterns in the items that has been occurred in a transaction. We are going to find the patterns that has been occurred in any transactions. It helps us to analyze the retails that has been purchased by a customer, and we are going to find the purchase behavior. For example, if a customer he buys a bread, then we are going to find whether there is any likelihood of buying some other product with those transactions. That should be called as an pattern of purchase. Here, if a customer buys a bread, then they are likely to buy a butter. We can prove this with the help of some techniques. And the terms that has been associated in the market basket analysis are support, confidence and lift. The support will help us to find how often an item occurs in a transaction. For example, if I am going to find the support value for a bread, then I have to count the frequency of the item bread that has been purchased by all the customers, and the total number of transactions should be taken into consideration. So the formula for support calculation is the transaction that contains the item set, that will be the count of the transaction that contains an item set divided by the total transactions. And then we have to find the confidence of this purchase. So to find the confidence, we have to find how often this rule will be true. The formula for calculating the confidence is confidence of A tends to B will be equal to the support count of A with B, A union B with the support of A. That is, if you are going to buy butter in a transaction, then we are going to find whether some other item is related with the buying pattern of a butter. That should be set as a confidence value. So here for A, I am taking any one of the items in my transaction. For B, I am going to take any one of my items in the transaction. So confidence of A tends to B will be equal to the support count which I should be calculating in the previous formula divided by the support count of A, because A is going to influence the purchase behavior of the item B. So this is called as a rule, and we have to find the confidence of this rule. Then the next condition we are going to check is the lift. Here the lift, it is going to specify the strength of association between the items. We are going to find the strength of association between the items. The formula is as follows: lift of an item A which will tends to a buying pattern of item B will be equal to a support count of A union B divided by the support count of A into the support count of B. This will say the association of A with B and give its strength value. So for analyzing the transactions that has been occurred, the market basket analysis uses these three terms: support, confidence and lift. To explain this more clearly, let me show you one example. Here is an example transaction. I have given only 4 transactions for simple explanation. Transaction T1, it is having bread, milk and butter. Transaction T2 has bread, butter and eggs. Transaction T3 is having bread, milk and eggs. Transaction T4 is having milk, butter, eggs. And I have represented all these transactions in a matrix format. So seeing the matrix, you can find the transaction T1, it is having, if I am having 1 in the bread, then this item has been purchased by the customer. So bread, milk and butter has been purchased. They have not purchased eggs. So for a simple identification of the pattern behavior in these 4 transactions, I have first given the transaction, then I have listed my transaction in a matrix form. Then I am going to start my calculation part for the frequent item set. Here I am having the support of bread. I am going to find whether bread and milk have any pattern buying in the previous transaction. So first I am counting the support of bread, which will be equal to how many bread item has been purchased. In these 4 transactions, the number of items is 3. 3 customers have purchased the bread. Total transaction is 4. So the support count becomes 3 by 4. Next, I am going to see how much transaction has been taken place for milk. Here again for milk there are 3 purchases from the customers. So total transaction 4. So again you are going for 3 by 4, which will be equal to 0.75. Next I am going for the support of bread with milk. So again I have to go for my table. I have to find bread and milk combination has been taken place in how many transactions. Here transaction T1 has bread with milk. Transaction T3 has bread with milk. But transaction T2 and T4, it doesn't have any one of the value, one of the item. So the support count for bread with milk will be equal to 2 by 4, which will be equal to 0.5. So what can be concluded from this support count is, and the bread and milk combination are frequent because the support count will have a threshold value which can be above 0.5 percentage. So here we are getting 0.5. So we can conclude that the bread and milk has the combinations that are frequent in the transaction. Next we have to go for the calculation of rules using the confidence. Here I am generating the rule. What will happen if a customer buys a bread, whether he will buy a milk or not. This is a simple rule, and the calculation part becomes confidence of bread that tends to milk will be equal to, I have to find the support count of bread with milk divided by support count of bread. Already in the previous slide we have calculated the support count of bread with milk and the support count of bread. This has been taken for the consideration, and the value becomes 0.5 divided by 0.75, which will be equal to 0.67. Here in the conclusion we can observe that 67% of the customers who buys bread will actually buy milk also. This could be concluded with the help of this confidence rule. The next one is lift. Again you have to go for the calculation part. Lift of bread which tends to milk will be equal to support count of bread with milk divided by support of bread into support of milk. So already we have calculated all these things in the previous slides. I am going to use those values and the answer will be equal to 0.89. Since from this we can conclude that the bread and milk, they are weakly associated because the lift value is less than 1. Even though the confidence rule says that 67% of the customers, they buy the bread with the milk, the lift, the strength of their association is weak. This could be analyzed using this market basket analysis. And wherever the market basket analysis could be used, so other applications are, in a retail shop, we can bundle the products and we can do some promotion activities. In a commerce website, we can go for a personalized product recommendation system. In an inventory management, we can keep the stock with the frequent items that are bought together. And in healthcare, we can identify the medication patterns that could be followed by the patients. So these are all the applications that could be associated with the market basket analysis. And what are all the benefits and challenges in applying this market basket analysis is, first let me say about the benefits. Here the customer behavior pattern could be easily identified using the market basket analysis. This will help us to promote the sales through the targeted strategies. And what are the challenges that are available for this market basket analysis is, it requires a large data set. Here I have shown you a simple transaction data, but in reality this doesn't occur. We will have a huge data set. So the complex calculation on those huge data set will result in some challenges that will be focused by the programmers. In summary, what is market basket analysis? We are going to find the frequent item sets and we are going to generate some association rules. We are going to find the pattern of behavior for a transactions and it could be applied in retail, e-commerce and healthcare applications. Thank you.